Hey folks, welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
So,
Yeah.
I have seen hundreds of videos where people make geode art and I wanted to have a go.
Yeah.
So, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And here it is.
And here it is. So, back in for my birthday last year, you bought me these crystal moulds.
Yeah.
And I've made them up a couple of times and I've used them on a few things, but I've never really sort of utilised them as
what they were supposed to be used for.
As I should.
Yes.
So I thought, I'm going to give it a go. Now, I decided that I was going to do a black, silver, gold. I hadn't really decided at that point, but at this point, I wanted to do a black geode.
Yeah.
So I wasn't 100% sure which shapes I was going to go for. So I chose the ones that
looks geodey.
They all look geodey, but I chose the ones that I liked the most, that I felt would work the best.
Yeah.
And I did some black resin dye and the tiniest amount of silver dust mica.
I mean, to be fair, that stuff, you don't really need a lot. It goes a long way.
It was the tiniest amount. So I did that. Now, these moulds are actually matte, which is fine because you've got the choice then.
Yeah.
If you want them shiny, you can have them shiny. And if you want them matte, you can keep them matte.
Yeah.
So I decided on which ones I was going to choose and thought, I'm going to go shiny.
Shiny.
Like a shocker.
Yeah.
On each of them, you'll see that there is the tiniest bit of overpour. Now, believe it or not, that was actually deliberate. No, seriously, it was deliberate because I wanted to be able to stick them down to the canvas.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I have a bit of overpour, I can actually put the resin on the overpour and it will stick it down better.
That's a lot of foresight.
Well, I've been planning to do one of these since you got me them for my birthday, which was September last year.
Yeah.
So it's only taken me this long to pluck up the courage.
Yeah.
So I then decided to make them shiny.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this lovely black tub
for sticking
stuff in UV, and I thought I'll try it on the little one, and then if it doesn't go well, then meh. But I thought I'd try it on the little one, see how that works out, and then go from there. So I just dipped it in and then let it drip off. It was quite a laborious process, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to waste any of the UV. So I'm quite precious about it.
I know.
I am. And then I when it came out and I dripped off sort of everything that I was going to, I then gave it a quick whiz with the torch.
Yeah.
And then later I put it under the actual lamp.
The big lamp.
The big lamp properly. And you can see it comes out. That's before it goes in.
Yeah.
So it's quite matte. And then in it goes.
Is you literally just
I'm literally putting it in there, coating it around and taking it out and letting it drip off. That's literally all I'm doing. There is no there's no magic to that. Well, I mean, there's magic.
Does it get stuck in the little crevices and stuff?
A tiny bit, which is why you can see me using my finger to just kind of reduce the
brush
amount.
Off the excess.
Yeah, essentially. And then a quick whiz over with the torch again, and then once again it goes under the lamp. But you can see how much shinier it is.
Yeah, that looks cool.
So, and that was sort of the look I was going for. You can see how the difference it makes.
It does. To be fair, I mean, they both look really cool, but I do like the shiny one.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose in an ideal world, you just have shiny moulds, but I don't.
But then if you use them enough, they'd go matte anyway, wouldn't they?
Probably.
Do they go matte or do they?
Probably not. I don't know. But I like these. I like these moulds. I like the shape of them. So
did you get fed up with dipping them?
No, I wanted to try doing it this way, just to see if it makes much of a difference, or I just wanted to try different ways.
Okay.
So I popped it under the lamp. They're quite. One of them is quite tall, so I had to prop my lamp up.
Yeah.
To get it done, but I gave them a really, really good. I mean, I gave them a good 5-6 minutes. If I'm honest, I gave them a lot longer. Next, I got a canvas.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what's going on with your camera there.
That was me playing with my camera.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have cut that bit out.
No, I left it in there just to show that you were trying to edit the video on your camera as you were going along, and failing miserably.
So rude. so rude. Anyway, I got some. So underneath this is a dragon mould that stood it up nicely on that tray. I then got some acrylic.
That's the pouring paint,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Just to give that canvas a once over, because I wanted a black background. The canvas itself we got those when we went to Maker Central last year.
Were they the ones from Maker Central?
Yeah, they're the PBO ones that we got from Maker Central. And we've only used a couple.
I've used one for my frog.
We've used more in the past month than we have in the past year.
Yeah.
So I painted that, let it dry. Now these are some glass crystal chips that I got from Hobbycraft quite a while ago. You can see I've used quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But I wanted black chips, and I can't remember whose channel it was that I saw it on. I will go through my history and find it.
Okay.
And I'll leave a link to them in the bottom. But I want to say it's All Aboard Resin. But anyway, it's I'll find it. But they coloured their chips using alcohol ink. And I remember seeing that and thinking, genius. Genius. So I took my clear chips, put them in a cup, and poured in some black alcohol ink.
So you could do that with any colour, really.
And you can do that with any colour. So, yeah, I will quite probably only ever buy
clear ones, and then you can colour them whatever
and colour them to what I want. So they weren't quite dark enough at this point. So I do add a little bit more and make them a bit darker. But I just thought that's such a good idea.
Yeah, that is top tip.
Top tip.
Yeah. That is going to be game changing.
Oh, shush. I will honestly, if you don't hear from Kirk again. Anyway, I did a second coat of that black onto the canvas board because a lot of it did sort of soak in.
Yeah, it is quite porous, but then it also runs off as well.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't have much run off because I made sure it was dead level. I then got a pencil and I drew some geode shapes. And I am by no means in any shape or form an expert in geode shapes. I just thought, yeah, that looks about right. And that's what I went with. Yeah. So once I'd decided that those are the shapes I was going to go with, I added my large crystal areas.
That you were deciding there which way to have them.
Yeah, I couldn't decide which way to go.
Expert advice.
Yeah, and you put it back to exactly how I had it to begin with.
Yeah, because that's how it looked. Yeah. It was look better that way.
Yeah, and then I got the crystal chips, and I start off placing them very gently and very.
There is a pattern with you doing things like this where you start off with great care and purpose,
Yeah.
and then you get a little bit more willy-nilly,
Yeah.
and then you just go, oh, I haven't got time for this, and then you just literally just whack the lot on there, and then just go, right, okay, I'll just sort these out now. Like that.
That is essentially what happened. I thought, why am I doing this? I can just use my fingers and move them around the board, which is exactly what I do. I use my fingers, the tools that we were given in the beginning. So that's what I go with. Better than a lollipop stick for some things. Anyway, so I kind of just put the glass chips in a shape around the large crystal areas.
I suppose there's no real rhyme or reason to where you can put them.
No, there's no right, there's no wrong. You have full artistic license.
Because you are an artiste.
Because I am an artiste. And I was artistic. So
you were artisting.
I was artisting, yeah. So I kind of got that. I got that one to just how I liked it. And if I remember rightly, you were working from home this day, and I said to you, whatever you do, do not touch my desk.
Yeah, I know. And you said it quite menacingly as well.
I said it very menacingly, because I didn't. Once it took me quite some time to.
Oh, it took a while
to get them into the position that I thought, yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah.
Having said that, I actually quite enjoyed the process. There was something quite relaxing about it. Just
shuffling them all around.
Shoveling stones around a canvas was genuinely I found it quite enjoyable. I will absolutely be doing more of these, but yeah.
Was it like one of those little miniature Japanese gardens where you get the tiny sand and a little rake and you make the patterns in the sand?
I've never used one of those, so I would not. I don't know.
They're supposed to be quite therapeutic.
They may well be, but if you get me one, I will. I will give it you. You won't like where I put the rake at all.
Okay.
I don't want one. I tell you what you could get me. You could get me some more glitter or some more stones. Anyway,
we've got enough glitter.
We haven't got enough stones though.
I'll get you some more stones.
Okay.
Got loads in the garden.
No, anyway. Look, you're digressing. You're getting me off topic. So I did spend quite some time doing the stones and making them, and so that they looked what I thought, to my mind, looked quite pretty.
Yeah.
And then once I had completely finished faffing, and it really did take some time.
Yeah.
I mixed up, I think it was about 30 milliliters of resin in the big cup.
Yeah.
And then there's 20 mils in each of those small cups.
Okay.
So I've got 3 small cups of 20 mils.
Yeah.
And then one large one.
Of about 30.
Of about 30.
Okay.
So using the clear resin, I just went over and around the stones. I wanted to avoid going on the going over the top of them, because if you do, they lose their shimmery effect.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of drip it down in the little gaps between the spaces.
You can't really get away with not putting it on all of it.
No,
but it's enough to make them stick to the board.
Yeah, exactly. You want enough for them to stick to the board, but not enough that it loses its texture and shapes.
Yeah.
So then I took 2 mica powders. I took the black, and then we've got a black silver, which is quite a pearly sort of colour.
Yeah, that's a really nice one.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that colour.
Yeah.
And I mixed those up. And then I took the clear and I added some black resin dye.
Okay.
So I've got 2 micas.
Yeah.
And I've got a black resin dye.
Yeah.
And again, into the black resin dye, I added the tiniest amount of...
that doesn't look like tiny amounts.
That's a tiny amount.
That looks like lots.
It's not lots. It's a tiny amount.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me. I actually knew what I was doing in this.
Okay.
It's like I'm like an artiste. Need expert advice on camera angles? Consult Nikki, master of the half-shoot geode mystery. You are so cheeky, it's unreal. I am going to take the keyboard off you if you continue to do this. Now, once I'd mixed them all up and I'd let them degas for a little bit, I just poured them in lines, basically. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong. You just pour them in whatever way you feel is geode.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And so that's what I did. I just had fun with it.
Just rolled with it.
I just rolled with it. And that's the clear, and you can see that there's that shimmer in it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It absolutely, because that in the black dye, the silver diamond mica, it gets like a midnight tint. So it looks like it's absolutely glorious. I love it.
Cool.
I absolutely love it. So it's just a case of going over and over until I was happy with.
So do you need to actually do you need to cover the whole board?
Yes.
So you have to keep pouring it until you've got a covering.
Yes. Yes, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite cool, though. It looks really good.
What I didn't want to do is go in and pour a huge block. I wanted to do sort of almost stripes, if you like.
Do it with purpose.
I did it I was artisting with intent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's looking. It seems to be sort of running down towards the bottom left.
It is running down towards the bottom left. That
suggests that your board may not be.
Well, it was level where it was when I painted it.
Yeah.
And then this is not where I painted it. This is slightly further along in my desk, and it wasn't quite as flat as it could have been. But it doesn't matter because you've got to go around the edges anyway. So it's all good. It's all good. Don't you worry.
I'm not worried.
But yeah. So then I just sort of any scrapings that I have out of the pots, I just
dotted around.
I just dotted around where I thought,
the gaps.
Yeah, just where I thought it needs something there. And to be fair, it's gonna move around as it dries anyway. But this was 24 hours later, and I was a little chuffed.
That is the understatement of the year. You were doing a little jig.
I did do a little jig.
You were jigging around, and you were like, "Ooh, ooh."
I was very happy with myself because I made that, and I was very pleased.
Yeah,
I was genuinely really quite happy. So the next thing that you have to do for your geo, or you don't have to do them, you can do it however you want. But I wanted to do, surprise, surprise, a glitter line.
Shocker.
So I mixed up a little bit of resin and, sorry, I mixed up a little bit of resin and I put into there some purple glitter.
Yeah.
Because it's me.
Yeah.
And I added some of the silver
It's a silver diamond.
The silver diamond again.
And the magic.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I picked up the ethereal green.
Yeah.
And I actually meant to pick up the purple.
Because they look quite similar.
No, it's because I've got a second project on the go. And I was thinking about the second project when I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it works out fine because you get a nice sort of shimmer. I then put it into a piping bag and I let it go. I left it for a good 45 minutes.
Oh, so that's proper.
So it's proper
on its way to being set.
It's a nice thick mixture because what I didn't want to do is put it on the board and it run. I wanted it to stay where I put it.
So how difficult was that to squeeze out there?
It wasn't.
Was it not?
No. I made a very small hole because again I didn't want to.
You didn't want it to.
I didn't want to risk
cover
it.
The rest
because I thought how it is at the moment, I actually really like. And if I ruin it at this point, I am not joking. I would have cried. I'd have actually cried, real tears, and I'd have rage quit for at least 2 days.
No, you wouldn't have.
Okay, maybe a day and a half.
There would have been some sulking. I
would have sulked like a toddler who's just lost their Tonka toy.
Yeah.
So you let the glitter dry.
Yeah.
Then you add some lines.
So these are the acrylic markers.
These are my chrome acrylic markers.
Right. Okay.
So I used silver. You can use whatever you like.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you. But I did 2 lines and then I did like a jagged bit that goes that way, like a fork line.
That goes that way. You're saying that as if people can see.
They can see. They're watching.
Yeah, but not your hand gestures that you're making just there.
They can see my hand gestures. My hands are right there. See, look there. There it is. That's my hand. Now, I then took a black marker and I just emphasised some areas to make them look a bit more pronounced.
Yeah.
But it won't stand out too much because it's black.
Yeah.
On black.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is perfect. And then I was like, right, don't do any more. Just leave it alone. And then I added the final top coat.
Is that just clear?
It's just a clear resin. That is, I think that's about 30 mils that I added as a top coat.
Yeah, that's quite full, that pot. And those are about 30 mil pots.
Yeah, but I didn't mix it in that pot. I mixed them in 2 separate pots and then poured it into one. Just because. I would never recommend mixing resin in a pot that's that full because you might not be able to get a good stir. Yeah. So, yeah, once I'd poured all the resin, I just sort of evened it out and made sure that I got rid of as many divots as possible and that it was as smooth as possible. And then I just left it. And then this was pretty much it. And I was honest. I was so happy. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed making this. So the only thing that was left to do was just remove the tape that I put on to sort of protect the back of the canvas from any drips.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple thing to do. All you do is get your heat gun, little blast, take the tape off. If any drips remain, you just kind of peel or scrape them back, and they just come off.
They do come off really well.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah, like you can see, they just literally just come off so easy.
Yeah.
So, and that was me done.
Yeah.
So, we will pop some glamour shots at the end.
Yeah.
And if anyone is still here watching with us, thank you so much for watching. Yeah. We really do appreciate you.
Yeah.
And if you've enjoyed our creative chaos, then please do feel free to hit that like button.
And while you're down there, come and subscribe.
If you've not already.
And if you have,
thank you very much. Let us know in the comments, have you done a geode? Do you like doing them? Do you not like doing them? What colours should we do next?
Red and blue.
Not doing a red and blue one. I do think it would look really nice in green.
Like an emerald.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
That is really, really, really good.
I'm just like so happy. So, that's all from us this week.
Yeah.
We'll see you
in the next one.
In the next one.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now.